I love this time of year because people are sharing things like income reports and how their books did, and I just love stats and things like that because it kind of lets me know what's possible. So these kind of videos really hype me up. I hope that'll be the case for you too. Let me know in the comments if you're excited. But originally I wanted this video to be actually within a bigger video about how I set a goal to make $50,000 in income in a year, and I'm still gonna do that video, but I felt like how much money I make specifically from books needed to be its own thing because it's so much more complicated than people realize. Like there's, I don't know, like 5 or 6 different places that I get money from my books alone. So I'm gonna break it down, but first, in case you don't know me, my name is Bethany Atazadeh. I'm a brand new mom and a writer. I have my best-selling series, the Stolen Kingdom series, which I also released as a collector's edition, and there's a spin-off novella that I'm working on writing more of these, plus my original duology and a nonfiction series that I co-write with Mandy Lynn on marketing for authors. But technically I wrote this one and this one, and Mandy wrote the other 3, and so she gets the profit from these and I get the profit from these. Co-writing is a whole other video, but if you subtract those, that's 10 books that I make most of my money from these guys, and then I have a few other side things. I made a children's book for fun ones. This is my dog Penny, and then I also sell novel planner notebooks like this one here that helps people with, you know, writing a novel. So that's where my profit comes from. And if you guys have ever heard of the Facebook group called, I think it's 20 books to 50K. I'm actually not on Facebook at all, so I can't tell you if it's still there, but I think it is. They talk about how it's basically like 20 books to 50K. Like the more books you have, the more money you will make. And I can testify that that's very, very true. But certain books, like my Stolen Kingdom series, do way better than the others, and that's the case for every author. There are certain books that are going to do really well, and it's also in a series, so when people buy one book, they want to know what happens and they keep reading through a series. So a series is also very beneficial for an indie author to make more money from their books. Okay, enough rambling. I'm gonna bring you over to my computer and I'm gonna show you my spreadsheet with my book sales from all the different places and break it down and give you some fun details. Let's get into it. So this is my business tracking spreadsheet where I actually have a bunch of different tabs, like for example, the total income for the year. And you can see I've started inputting some stuff from this year. And that comes from these different monthly tabs where I just have it auto calculate into this total for the year. But then I also have an income by category tab and a total book income tab. And this is what we're going to focus on today, but I'm going to go back and show you the 2021 spreadsheet where it's all filled in. Looking at this, I am letting you guys see everything, and I'm actually going to be showing you the totals in a second, but I blocked those off with a black bar so you can't see it right away and be distracted. But looking at the top here, you can see that I have income, specifically bookish income. This is only from my books, not my other income. I have income coming from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different places, specifically for books alone. This first column here is Amazon's KDP, or Kindle Direct Publishing, and I'll show you at the end here in a second, but this one definitely makes me the most income for my books. The next column is Ingram Spark, and this is where I publish my books, well, specifically just my print books, so paperback and hardcover, wide, aka outside of Amazon, places like Target and Barnes & Noble and Book Depository. And then we have Draft to Digital, which is where I publish my ebooks wide, aka outside of Amazon. And so this is like Kobo and Nook and I don't know, Indigo and libraries and stuff like that. Then we have my column here that says website, and that is specifically for books that I sold signed copies where I ordered them here to myself and then I sold them from my website. The next column is Audible, which is for audiobooks, and that I do through ACX, which is also owned by Amazon. So anytime you see things happen on KDP, you'll see the same kind of thing happen on Audible, or ACX, I should say. That should really say ACX, but you get the idea. And then this other column is for, well, pretty much there's only been 2 things that have happened. There's this library payment that I get every like 6 months from Bibliolabs, I think it's called. And then there is this one time that I won an award and I got $1,000 for writing. So I put that in the other column, but that was unfortunately not this year. All right, so now let's go ahead and I'm gonna go through the totals for you. Are you ready? There we go. Okay, so you're gonna see the very first thing is that there's a big difference. When authors tell you that their income varies, this is why, and I'll show you in a minute. I'll get a little more detailed here, but like January, $302 versus February, $2,003. I think I can get an average here too. So let me just put this random box here and I click the average button and I drag up the side, enter. So my average income from books in the last 12 months here was about $1,000. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of that and let's come back to the point. So you can see 300, 2,000, 1,000, 725. You okay? Okay, he's just stretching. 364, 2,847, 1,500. 639, 490, 415, 655, and 1,319. So there's a couple things I want to point out here that I think are really, really interesting. The first one is the most obvious, which is December. I was not working this month. I was on maternity leave, and yet my books made $1,319 that month. That's really cool. And like you guys saw, I have a lot of books out now, so each time I put out a new book, these numbers do go up. And that's the second thing that I want to point out to you, which is that when there was a release, the numbers went way up. So there's kind of like my average income, and then there's a release month that's like way up here. And then it will slowly come back down to kind of get back to my average, or sometimes slightly above, depending on how well I've been doing. I'm going to dig into it and show you an example. In March, I released The Enchanted Crown. But is this income right here on the March line from that release? No, it is not. I actually saw the income in June for Amazon, because normally Amazon, or KDP I should say, is 2 months from the end of the month. This is complicated. I'm sorry if I'm messing this up, but basically you've got the end of the release month, March, and then 2 months later is when you get paid. And this happened to be a late payment. It should have come in May, but as you can see, May says $0. And that's because they were just slightly over into June, like June 1st. And so that payment came in June instead. So the income from that March release did not get to me here until June, and it was $2,414 on Amazon. But then also Ingram Spark was even a month later than that in July. There you see the income from the release, $963.21, because Ingram Spark is 90 days from the end of the month, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, so you don't make your money immediately upon a sale. You make it 2 to 3 and sometimes even 4 months later. Just FYI. Now, the one exception to that rule is here on my website sale. So in February, I did have a website sale where I actually opened up signed copies of my books. And as you can see, I made the money right away that month. Like the moment that people started buying, that money came into my bank account. So that was $1,943. And then the next 2 months, I had a little bit more stock. So you can see that that was $350-ish, something like that. And every month is so different. Like that month, almost all of the income of that $2,003 was from the website sale, because KDP and also Audible, both owned by Amazon, were late and they didn't make their payment to me for that month until the beginning of March. And so this payment and this payment are actually like 2 months combined. When you see a good month here, like June is probably, I think that's my best month at $2,847 just from books alone. That was all from back in the release of The Enchanted Crown. And actually the next month, July, here was $1,583. About $1,000 from that was also from the Enchanted Crown's release as well. So when you have a release month, that accounts for quite a bit of the income. But I want to point out that the income can still stay a little higher than average even after the big release, boom has happened, like this month here. So another example is in September, I released The Secret Gift, and that came out. And so that I would see on Amazon's KDP 2 months later, right here, $578, and then on Ingram Spark 3 months later right here, that $430. And then in October we released the marketing books in the Marketing for Authors series. Me and my co-author released them. She gets the profits from one book, I get the profits from the other book. And so that would, again, the profit would be 2 months later in December right here, $810, and some of that might have been from The Secret Gift as well. So that's really awesome. And since the marketing books are not on Ingram Spark, they are only on KDP. They are actually in Kindle Unlimited. I know that this here is mostly from The Secret Gift because the marketing books aren't on Ingram Spark or Draft to Digital. Okay, now let's check out the totals. Are you ready? We have on Amazon or KDP $6,338 I was paid versus Ingram Spark I was paid $2,238. So that's like like a third of Amazon, and I do want to point out that that's only because they do pre-orders, and Amazon does not offer print pre-orders. Uh-oh. Okay, somebody's waking up. Let me hurry. So if I was able to do pre-orders over on Amazon, all the sales would be there. Ingram Spark makes almost nothing in the months that I don't have those pre-order sales. But Draft to Digital is the next one, $889. Considering that I am pretty new to that still, this I think was my first full year on there. I think I started, oh gosh, at the end of last year. Either way, that's pretty good considering I still don't know what I'm doing and I haven't really learned all of those platforms yet or how to advertise on them. And then my website sales, as you can see, this is actually really just from these 3 months and this one right here. So that's actually 4 months worth of income at $2,356. It made more than Ingram Spark all year in just those 4 months, which is why I love website sales, and I hope to be able to do more signed copies in the future. And the cool thing about that is I sell them at the same price as on the vendors, but I make more. So I really, really love that. Plus the readers get more because they get a signed copy instead, plus other goodies that I include. So all around, website sales are a huge win. They're just a lot of work. Oh shoot, he's awake. All right, we're gonna finish this up. Audible made $487.47. That's not bad, but keep in mind I spent a little over $1,000 on the audiobook, so it still has not made its money back. And for those of you who are asking me about audiobooks and why I haven't made more, that is why. And so that's a whole other video. That's for another time, but just know that they're very expensive. And last but not least, $58.91. That's from that library Bibliolabs thing. So now we're ready for the total. Are you ready? Drum roll. $12,369.56 specifically from books in 2021. Okay, editing Bethany here. Let me know if you would like a video on the total number of books I've sold throughout my career and the total dollar amount that those books have made, because I think that would be a really fun video as well. And just spoiler, it's not millions, although that would be really cool. But since I did hear when I first started out that the average indie author sells about 100 books in that book's lifetime, it's definitely an exciting number and I can't wait to share with you guys. So if you're excited, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up. Okay, that's all. Back to the video. I hope you enjoyed this. I just wanted to say that this spreadsheet right here, I do have the 2022 version here up again on my website, and also it's over on Patreon in the resource library specifically, and it's the same amount in both places. It's a blank template that you can go and you can rewrite. Like if you don't want to do Ingram Spark, you could be like, my thing. Whatever that might be, and make it your own. But it has, you know, that 2022 income page, the total for the year that pulls from the different monthly pages, as well as I have a book specific tracker, and then I have an income by category tracker that just in the same way, you could go in and you could be like, this is my income stream, whatever it might be. And I hope you'll hit that subscribe button below, because the next video is going to be talking about this spreadsheet, only the 2021 version, where I go through my income by category and I share if I made it to $50,000 in income last year in 2021. Okay, enough rambling. I hope you enjoyed this really analytical video. I know they can get a little bit dense, so let me know that you liked it with a thumbs up if you did, and I hope you'll stick around for the next video. And until then, I'm gonna go check on this little guy. So until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye! It's my first time using a monitor, like actually needing to use it. Okay, it's okay. I can do this. Here we go.
It started out like a movie scene. Something